Welcome back to episode 3 of the podcast. Gentlemen, introduce yourself, names.
Hayden Bender here.
Gavin McAfee.
John Metzger.
Will Robinson.
We're going to be covering a couple key points from this past 2 weekends. First, start with Ohio State and Texas.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid game. Just a defensive struggle. Ohio State proved to be better. Arch has got some stuff to learn. He'll be better. Texas will be back. It was a great game.
Yeah, I think Arch is a little overrated, but Ohio State's defense came to play, and they gave Arch something to struggle over, and Ohio State was overall the better team there, so they're number one this week.
I definitely agree. It was a defensive struggle. I think Arch just needs to develop a little bit more, even in the junior season. First big start, he'll get better. That whole team will get better.
Yeah, being at the game, the crowd made it a huge factor on Arch. It's just going to be an uphill task for him to go in there and try and get the win. I think he'll obviously be better, but he did miss some routine throws. Ohio State's defense looks really good, and I think them and Texas are probably number 1 and 2 in terms of at least defense. I think both offenses struggled a bit, but they will both get better, especially Texas.
I agree with what Will just said. Ohio State's defense looked incredible, and then I like how Julian Sayin looked in his first ever start, looked poised, calm, confident, made some great throws. So we'll see how both those teams go until the next couple of weeks and see how the rest of the season. And then reacting to a game that just finished a couple hours ago, Oklahoma taking down Michigan 24-13.
Yeah, it was kind of disappointing to watch. Michigan didn't really let the ball down the field. They didn't let Underwood play to his full capabilities, so it was disappointing. Oklahoma proved to be really solid, especially with their quarterback play. He can run, pass, really do it all. So, they played better, and they probably outcoached us as well, so it was kind of a tough game for Michigan.
Yeah, it was a disappointing game, like Hayden said. Our OC really needs to just let us open up the playbook, especially in those big games. The defense played decent, but we can't expect them to get a stop on every single drive of the game against these ranked teams that have really good offenses.
Yeah, it was definitely a struggle to watch at times. I mean, just felt like the coaching was just trying to box ourselves into a box for no reason as a team. Definitely should have stopped calling screen passes after the 5th time.
Yeah, looking at that game, obviously I'm an Ohio State fan. I was the only one who picked Oklahoma, but, seeing them lose that game, just kind of a little bit expected for me, considering it was Bryce Underwood's first major start in an environment like that. He's never really experienced anything like that. But I think it's kind of like Arch. They're both great talents, and they'll get better, but we'll see how they do. They don't have a huge test until Ohio State at the end of the season.
I mean, for me, just John Mateer looked pretty good, even though he had that interception. He ran the ball really well. He threw the ball decently down the field. And then Bryce Underwood, he's going to be fine. It's his first road start. The stat line might not look the greatest, but it's just the play calling, which is not good overall. So we'll see how he adjusts maybe in the next couple of weeks. And then I have 2 Heisman updates. I'm going Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State and Garrett Nussmeier from LSU.
Yeah, for my Heismans, I originally took Cade Klubnik. He hasn't played very well, neither has Clemson as a team. So I'm going to revoke that. And I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to do Jeremiah Smith, and then I'm going to go sleepers Carson Beck on Miami. I think they've been slept on. They had a good win against Notre Dame, and they've been playing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with one of my OG picks from last week, and I'm going to go with Lenore Sellers, even though he didn't have a huge breakout game today. I think he'll still pick it up when it comes to SEC play and get it done. And then another one that looked really good was Nussmeier from LSU. Just looked real good against Clemson last week. So those are my 2 right now.
I didn't have any picks last week, but I definitely think Nussmeier is just a great quarterback. I think he can win it. That whole team is good over at LSU. They proved it last week. And then my sleeper pick, I got to go Jeremiah Love. I just think he can get the ball rolling for that Notre Dame team and just be an absolute stud over there.
Yeah, we didn't get into it too much, but with LSU, Garrett Nussmeier being one of my Heisman picks now, but looking at that game last week, we didn't get into it too much, but LSU really shocked all of us. We didn't expect Brian Kelly to get it done. They really just went into Clemson and gave it to him and looked really good. so they could potentially be a national championship contender. But as for my other pick, I don't really have like a set in stone one that's not too crazy, but I have a sleeper that can maybe finish top 5 to 10 in these Heisman voting, and that is Caleb Downs from Ohio State. I think he is a generational talent at safety, and I think that he may not win it. He probably will not win it, but I think he will finish top 5 to 10.
All right, we're just gonna go through who we want week 3. We're just gonna do a couple games here. We'll go pretty quick. First one is Georgia Tennessee. Home environment. I'm actually gonna go with Tennessee on this one.
I think Georgia goes in there and takes care of business in a close one, but we'll see.
Yeah, after what I saw from Georgia today, I'm liking Tennessee a little more than I was originally, so I think I'm going to ride with Tennessee next week, but I think it could go either way.
I mean, normally I roll with the Vols, but they just don't have a defense. There's no defense on that team. I mean, Syracuse hanging, 24 last week or something like that on them?
It was 28.
Yeah, it was, just no defense. Georgia's going to come in there and spank them.
I don't know if they'll spank them, but I do think Tennessee is a great environment, and they could definitely give Georgia a tough time. But I think the Dogs are going to roll in this one. Probably win by about 10 points. No, they got a quarterback who we don't know too much about, but I think Stockton could be a decent player. Not the best talent, but I think he can get it done with the players around him. I got the Dogs in this one.
And then we'll move on to another SEC matchup, nightcapper. Florida, who just suffered a terrible loss to South Florida, travels to Death Valley to take on LSU. I have no words. I'm taking LSU every day, single day of the week.
Yeah, based on what I saw them, Florida against South Florida a little bit ago, I'm taking LSU. And, if they didn't play so bad against South Florida, I'd probably pick Florida because I still have my questions about LSU, especially since Clemson has looked this bad also, but LSU all day, every day.
Where did you say this game is being played at?
It's at LSU at 7:30.
At LSU.
It's a night game.
Yeah, I will also take LSU. I was going to say possibly Florida, if they had a home game, a little redemption after this really awful week that they had. But yeah, going into LSU at night, there's no shot.
Yeah, the Tigers are fucking taking this one. I literally don't think it's going to be close after this game tonight. I mean, Florida could maybe hang in there for a quarter or two, but it's just, I think this offense, that LSU offense, is just going to skyrocket this next game, and they're going to show their true potential.
Yeah, I think LSU honestly has shown a lot through this first couple of weeks, especially week 1. I mean, man, they really are surprising all of us, and I think that Florida, they will be looking to bounce back, but this is just not the one you want right now. You want a little tune-up. This week was supposed to be a tune-up, and that's probably why they lost, because they were looking ahead. They lost to not a bad team, but a team that they should absolutely beat in their own state at home. I mean, that's ridiculous. If you're a Florida fan, you probably want to fire Napier right about now, but we'll see if they can even keep it close in Death Valley, the real Death Valley.
And then also another nightcapper, this one NBC. Texas A&M is making the travel to Notre Dame. This game's at Notre Dame. Notre Dame coming off a tough loss. TJ Carr looked good. I really don't know much about A&M, but I think Jeremiah Love is going to have a good game, and I got Notre Dame at home at night. Give me the Irish.
I will also take the Irish just because I thought they played pretty well against Miami, and that was, down to the wire. And, CJ Carr did play pretty well. And, like Bros, I don't know much about Texas A&M, but watching them last year, they just didn't impress me. So unless they've improved tremendously, I got the Irish.
Yeah, I think Texas A&M has looked all right this year, but Notre Dame played a pretty solid game last week, and that was without even using Jeremiah Love to his full potential. So I think Notre Dame's going to start to use him a little more and probably whoop Texas A&M a little bit.
Definitely think this could be Jeremiah's breakout game for at least the season right now. He definitely didn't have a great game against Miami, but there were signs of life. And, I mean, if he's a Heisman sleeper for me, he's definitely going to have a good game. And the Aggies just don't always look good in these bigger games. I mean, it's just a true statement. They only play good when it's them being the underdogs, and they just don't feel like an underdog to me right now.
Yeah, from both what I've heard and seen about Texas A&M so far this year, they are not the most explosive team. I think they'll be able to run the ball decently well, but I think Notre Dame is well equipped for that and anything that Texas A&M could throw at them. Notre Dame got the win last year in A&M, and I think that this one being at home gives the Irish an even better chance to win it, and I think they do. And, I think this one could probably be a low-scoring game, but I think the Irish definitely can pull it out.
Next game, too. keep an eye out for Bama. They're going to be on upset watch again. They're going 1-2. Wisconsin's coming in there, upsetting the
We're
world.
doing this again.
Here we go. Yeah, now saying that, I think Bama rolls by 30. Even though they look terrible, I'm going Bama at home. Ryan Williams is going to be back. He's going for 150 yards,
Watch
2
out.
scores.
The lower's job is in
Badgers are
shambles.
winning by 10.
I agree with Will Gross on this one. I think Bama's looking to absolutely pound Wisconsin, and I just don't think Wisconsin has a team to keep up with them at all.
I'm just saying, watch out. It could be a close one.
Yeah, I definitely honestly think Wisconsin can pull it out. Bama just does not look good. They just look like a sloppy team right now. They're just, go.
Sorry.
Yeah, with Bama, I mean, week 1 they looked terrible against Florida State, but I think Florida State is surprising people this far. I think Alabama took a step up in week 2. Obviously, they played a nobody, but I think playing Wisconsin is about in between Florida State and the nobody. I think Wisconsin is just not good. They do not have a good program anymore. You know, they got to jump around, but this one is in Tuscaloosa. So give me the Tide by 40.
Yeah, I got the Tide by a lot.
And then we'll just list a team that we might think, has struggled or is like maybe in trouble. I'm gonna go Clemson. They just have not looked good these last 2 weeks. I know they were all hyped up during the preseason, but even today against Troy, their offense just couldn't get anything rolling, especially in the first half. Down 16-0 at home after you just lost your home opener, that's just unacceptable. I think they got to pick it up, or they're going to have some trouble, especially in the ACC. I think they could lose to either Miami or Florida State, looking how they are right now.
Yeah, keeping with teams in trouble. I'm going to go Bama. I just don't see it with DeBoer, and I just think it's a roller coaster of emotions with that team since he's been there. So, yeah, I mean, I think Wisconsin's got a shot to beat them. And even if Wisconsin doesn't, they got an absolute gauntlet in the SEC. I just don't see them making through it. I think they go, 8-4 this year.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go with my original Natty pick. I wouldn't say they're necessarily in trouble, but just watching their first few games, I don't know if they're on the exact level of what I thought they were, and that is Penn State. I don't know if they have that team to go win a Natty right now, and even though this is supposed to be their year, in their opinion, and this is supposed to be their amazing team, they only put up they shut out in their game today, but they only put up 30 points, and it was somewhat close for a little while. So we'll see how the rest of the season plays out. But right now, the Natty's not looking as good as I thought it would be before the game started.
Honestly, a team in trouble right now, I think, is South Carolina. They won their first 2 games, but the play looks sloppy. It feels sloppy. I thought Lenore Sellers,
Yeah.
I just don't know. It just overhyped. It just feels like way too much. It feels like they're trying to put it on his back. There's no need to do that, and the sloppy play is just crazy to me as a team that I feel like is supposed to be good playoff caliber and possibly win a couple playoff games.
For me, I'm going with Chapel Bill and Gavin's sleeper play. The North Carolina Tar Heels. They are in trouble because holy shit, week 1. The Horny Frogs came in and gave them an absolute ass whooping.
Yeah.
It was terrible. And then with Michael Jordan and co in attendance, it was just
By the way, that was a hot take. It was one of my hot takes.
It is a freezing cold take now, boys. So we'll see if they can turn it around. I really do not think so.
And then last thing we'll mention, just conference. I think right now, outlooking every conference, I think the Big Ten is still the best conference for college football. I mean, you've got Ohio State, you've got Penn State, even though Michigan lost, I think they'll be just fine.
Oregon, bro, they put up 73.
Oregon's been really good.
Yes,
Illinois, I think Illinois is a really sleeper. And then maybe Indiana just sees how, I know their schedule's been weak, but, Indiana's look decent. So I think right now, through 2 weeks, I think the Big Ten has looked better than the SEC just because head-to-head, the Big Ten has beaten the SEC more with Ohio State beating Texas. Even though Michigan didn't get the job done, I think still Big Ten.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, it's the two-headed monster between the Big Ten and SEC. I do think the Big Ten has been playing better. The fact that Ohio State beat Texas, I think alone just puts it over the top as of now. So we'll see. Also, I know I picked Clemson to win the ACC. Yeah, I'm changing my mind. It's now Miami. So the ACC, going to the Miami Hurricanes.
Just like your opinion.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going with Bros, honestly. The Big Ten is just way better than the SEC at this point. I haven't really seen anything from the SEC that's really like, wow, except for like LSU beating Clemson, but I really don't really know if either of those teams are that awesome yet. So, yeah, from what I've seen, Ohio State looks really good. Michigan's getting there. We're not, obviously, against Oklahoma today is a little rough one. But I think they'll eventually get there. And then the whole Big Ten in general, there's a wide spread of very decent and up to very solid teams.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with the Big Ten, too. I just feel like they're just playing dominant football right now. It's physical, it's hard, it's fast. It's just the SEC just feels like they want to showboat more than they want to play football. And, I mean, it shows. The Big Ten's dominating them most games. I mean, the Michigan game was honestly a little bit of a fluke, but more of just a shooting themselves in the foot than anything else.
Yeah, I do like the Big Ten more, but honestly, the thing that I'm really focused on right now is my Big 12 champion, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Man, they've been scoring points like crazy on anyone, just like they have Mahomes. That's what it looks like right now, but we'll see when they play real competition because the Big 12 will be a crapshoot, but I think Texas Tech makes their way out of it.
I don't know.
Until they play the Cincinnati Bearcats in the championship, and so to speak, goes for 4 touchdowns.
Probably
4 picks, probably.
Also, speaking of
4
Cincinnati,
touchdowns.
they beat Bowling Green today 34-20. Sorsby had a great game with 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
Also, I want to end with the argument. Is there an argument that could be made that the ACC has been better so far than the SEC?
No.
No, not even close.
No.
No.
Not even
I just think
close.
with Florida State's win and Miami Florida's win, there's a case.
You
I
can
mean-
make the case, but then you got to look at Clemson and just be like, well,
Yeah,
that throws it out the window
Clemson,
already. I mean, they've been playing.
That's why I'm
terrible.
wondering. I'm like,
That was one of their top
SMU and
contenders
Baylor,
started.
too.
SMU
Yeah,
just got
SMU
beat
and
and
Baylor.
Baylor. Duke just got hammered by Illinois. Like,
Duke was supposed to be.
nah, it was pretty.
That was a fucking airball right
That
there.
was an airball of a
Holy
miss.
shit.
All right. So we'll move into NFL Sunday. We'll start with this game, especially for Hayden. We'll go Steelers at the Jets. I'm just saying, I'm going with the New York Jets. Justin Fields is getting it done, and they're sending Aaron Rodgers home back to the cave. So give me the Jets.
Here, I'll put it for this way: Justin Fields has never got it done. He's not going to get it done tomorrow. Steelers roll easy.
Yeah, see, Hayden says Justin Fields has never got it done. That is because he's played for the Chicago Bears, who had no offensive line, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who also had no offensive line. So I will be taking the Jets with their new quarterback and their brand new head coach, my boy Aaron Glenn, who is going to come in there and absolutely whoop Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers and show everyone who Aaron Rodgers really is at the age of 57 and send him back to retirement.
This one I think is actually going to be a close one. I think it's just going to be a defensive matchup, and honestly, I think I have the Steelers edging them out, but it's not without no harm done. Aaron Rodgers is going down tomorrow. I'm sorry, I don't pray on it, but the Achilles is getting torn again.
Oh my God!
Like it's gonna happen.
That's worse than what I said.
He's going back to the mountain goats. We're gonna go back to the cave.
Keep drinking that goat milk.
I don't care what's going on in this
Straight off
personal
them
life.
goat nipples.
Yeah, he's going down tomorrow. I mean,
This is awesome.
Yeah, I didn't even really think about this at first, but this is kind of like war flashbacks for Aaron Rodgers playing in MetLife in the first game of the season. So maybe John's right. I think that the fact that this game is in the shithole that is MetLife, I think that they might actually pull it out, and this will probably be the highlight of the season for the Jets.
I mean that turf has taken more Achilles and ACLs than any other field I think in mankind.
This is probably true. And for this reason, I do got the Jets winning, and I think Fields probably has 2 touchdowns to Garrett Wilson and probably another rushing one. So, give me the Jets.
We'll move on to a game that's at the 4 o'clock window. We're going to do the Texans at the Rams. I think the Rams have a good Super Bowl contending team this year. C.J. Stroud's looking to bounce back. But I'm going to go with the home team this one. I'm going to go with the Rams just because I think Stafford's going to be ready to go. That offense of Devontae Adams is going to click. And I just don't think the Texans' defense is enough to stop the good offense of the Rams.
Well, I'm taking the Rams. As I stated last episode, I have them making the Super Bowl and losing to the Bills, so this is an easy pick for the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, I have a very biased but unbiased pick at the same time. I'm taking the Rams mainly because I do not like C.J. Stroud, not only because he was an Ohio State quarterback, but because I actually trust him to be on my fantasy team last year, and he had a major sophomore slump. So I'm taking the Rams and Matthew Stafford and Devontae Adams to take this one home.
I'm going to go Texans. Honestly, Devontae Adams is too old. He can go join Aaron Rodgers in the Mountain Goats. Dude, he is. I'm sorry. He does not do anything. He literally didn't do anything in the Raiders. He's just not him anymore. I'm sorry. Puka's going to have a good game. Devontae's is not going to have a good one. I think the Texans are actually going to take this one.
Who's the Raiders quarterback?
Okay, it was Derek Carr.
Aiden O'Connell.
I'm not saying it was not just because of quarterback.
Jimmy G.
He also has Puka to make sure to clear up his routes.
And they have Kyron Williams.
So it's not all just on Devontae to carry the team. That was just something I mentioned.
In my opinion, I actually am going to go with the Texans. I think that the Rams are a very good team, and they're eventually going to really put it together. But I think that just being in the first game with all these guys really getting game reps, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that later on they can make a deep run. But I think that Stroud's coming back. I think that he's going to show that he is a lot better from last year. And I think that the experience that he has with his guys is just going to prove to be well.
All right. Then we'll move into I'd say the most probably going to be watched game at 4 o'clock. Detroit traveling to Green Bay, take on the Packers. This is going to be a good game. Obviously, Micah Parsons is now a Green Bay Packer. We'll see how he's going to do in his first game as a Green Bay Packer. But I don't know, man. Green Bay doesn't have good history of playing Detroit and Lambeau, so I'm going with the Lions to win by more than 10 points because I just think it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs' day. He's going for 175 yards on the ground and receiving, and Aiden Hutchinson's going for 4 sacks. Fuck the Packers, and the Lions are winning.
I'm going to go with an upset. I'm going to pick the Packers. I think the Lions.
Here we go.
It's an upset now, though.
Yeah, here we go.
It's an upset if they win. I think the Lions are the better team, and I've stated before, I still think they will win the division by 2 or 3 games. I just think that the Packers, with the hype around Micah Parsons, join the team, and they've got a pretty solid squad themselves too. I think they get the upset by about 3 points.
Yeah, Jordan Love is not.
Yeah, I found it somewhat interesting that a couple weeks ago the Lions were projected to win the NFC North again, like we're going to, and then all of a sudden the Packers make this big trade and get Micah Parsons. But and then all of a sudden now the Packers are going to win the NFC North because that makes so much sense. What a lot of people are forgetting is they gave up Kenny Clark, who gave us so many fits when we're trying to run up the middle because he just stuffs everything. Now with Micah Parsons, obviously he's a very good player, but I think we're still going to be able to get the job done, especially going into Lambeau. We own Lambeau Field. I'm a very biased pick right here, but I'm taking the Lions. Taking the Lions by a lot. We got a full, healthy defense now, and I think Jordan Love is going to have absolutely no idea what to do tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. Lions by a lot, and it's not just for that, but it's just all this hate all of a sudden on the Lions. I feel like it's just they're not going to win the division. They're not going to be this good. The Packers are supposed to. Honestly, I feel like I've heard more about the Packers going to win this game than the Lions. I think they're going to come into Lambeau. They're going to play with a chip on their shoulder, and they're winning by at least 20. I'm not lying.
20 is absurd.
Wow.
Yep.
All right, that's a hot, bold take.
So by 20 is kind of crazy, and I actually think that the Packers are going to get it done.
Yep, here we go. Two most dumbest people on this podcast are picking the Packers.
Week 1 of the season, Micah Parsons is going to come in and punch that ball loose out of Goff's hands in the first drive. They're going to get the ball.
Micah Parsons is going to be on Panay Sewell.
Yeah,
Panay Sewell, an all-pro right tackle.
Yeah, Micah Parsons had a great pass rush last year on the Cowboys, too, against them.
We have two of the best. We have one of the best O-lines in the league. I'm not saying we're the best, but we have one of the top O-lines in the league. We have Panay Sewell, who is, if not the best, he's definitely top 3 offensive tackles in the league, and that's who Panay Sewell's going to have to go through. Or that's who Micah Parsons is going to have to go through, sorry. And if you don't remember last time we played against him, we absolutely whooped the Cowboys and didn't have much problem going through Micah Parsons. So I don't think he will be a one-man wrecking.
Well, this is because the Cowboys are ass, and I think that the Packers are going to win.
Speaking of that, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah, we can get that later. But I was going to say watch out for a big game tomorrow from Jameson Williams. Just got extended new contract. I think he was overpaid, but we'll see how that works out. I think he's going to have a big game as well. Then we'll move into the Sunday night game. That's going to be a really good one as well. Baltimore traveling to Buffalo to take on the MVP, Josh Allen. I know it's going to sound really stupid, but I think Lamar is better than Josh Allen. I'm going with the Ravens to get it done. Derrick Henry's going for 150 yards. I don't trust the Bills on offense. Josh Allen can't be Superman every play. I'm going with the Ravens, and I think they're the favorites so far right now to win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl.
See, I completely disagree with Will and everything he just said there.
Here we go.
I'm picking the Bills. Josh Allen is winning back-to-back MVPs, and they're winning the Super Bowl. So I'm picking the Bills.
Okay.
I would also like to let everybody know Josh Allen is Hayden's fantasy quarterback. But I agree with Will Gross, and I'm taking the Ravens. I think that they have the more complete overall team. The Bills have Josh Allen, that's right. He might win MVP, who knows? But I don't think he's enough to just carry their entire team again, especially against a well-rounded team like the Ravens. The Bills will have a really great season and make it deep in the playoffs probably again.
Probably
I
lose the Chiefs.
I think the Ravens will get this one done.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with that. The Ravens are going to get it done. They're just a more complete team, like Gavin said. It's just the Bills don't play defense really, I feel like. They just play offense. They just, here's the ball, Josh Allen, please save us. And the Ravens want to run the ball. They want to be more physical, and they're just a better overall defense, too, compared to the Bills' just overall offense. I think the Ravens are going to get it done.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with most of the guys on this podcast here and go with the Ravens. You know, I know I am a Browns fan, and I don't really like the Ravens. I don't like the Steelers either. But, just going with my brain, my working brain, I think the defense is miles better, and I think, Josh Allen will make some good plays. He always does, but it's just they have so much more, an insane defense, the best in the league for sure.
That's running back. And then last one we'll go off is the Monday night game. Minnesota going to Chicago.
Hot ass.
Ben Johnson's first hit game as head coach. And guess what? He ain't getting the win. J.J. McCarthy's coming into town, throwing 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Give me the Vikings by more than 10 points. The Bears suck ass.
Now, this time, I agree 100% with Will Bros. The Vikings are coming in there. J.J. McCarthy's having a game, and he's showing them why they're just going to whoop the Bears' buns.
I mean, I really hope J.J. McCarthy throws for over 300 yards. I don't know if that will actually happen. But I do agree that the Vikings will get this one done. Mainly because I hate Ben Johnson now, and I think the Bears are still the Bears, and they will lose this one and lose so many other games because they just always suck, and I just don't see a future where they're any good, no matter who their coach is.
I definitely agree that I think Minnesota's going to win, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than you guys think. I think the Bears showed their potential a little bit in that preseason game against the Bills. And there was only a couple drives that first team got, but they looked good. They looked fluent. They looked good. I think they can be a lethal offense. Defense, they're kind of a hit or miss, I feel like, on the defense. I really don't know if they have, a star-studded guy on that defense, I feel like. But I definitely think their offense can keep them in games. But I just think Minnesota's the more complete team. I think they're going to be able to run the ball a lot better. And that's just what it's going to come down to, is being able to run the ball and play action.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think Bears are not going to win this game. It is Bears, and sorry for our dear friend Ashton Bossman, but I think they're going to disappoint him like always. I think JJ, I think he'll show some flashes, but he's not going to have the best performance, but, he's got Justin Jefferson on his team, so that's going to help a lot. I think this game's low scoring. I think it's probably going to be say 17-10. That's what I think it's going to be. But, yeah, that's in my opinion. I think that the Vikings are just better overall, especially on offense, and, that's where my head's at.
Do you guys see any potential upsets in this week 1 or no?
The Jets ditch.
Jets, is that the major?
I don't even know if I'd call the Jets an upset, to be honest.
God. Well, I guess the Steelers. I got them as the upset since I'm getting outpicked here.
Browns over Bengals.
No, I don't see that happening.
Yep, in Cleveland, it's happening.
I will say an upset that did happen though is the Chiefs lost to the LA Chargers.
Yeah.
So my boy Jimbo's showing him
Yes.
what's up here, and that Patrick Mahomes ain't what he used to be 2 or 3 years ago. I think he's slowly hitting the decline of his playing right now. Obviously, he can pick it back up, but he just hasn't been as good as he was 2 or 3 years ago.
Justin Herbert went for a great game, 25 of 34 for 318 yards and 3 touchdowns. Quentin Johnston, out of all their receivers, actually catches the ball for 2 touchdowns. Actually, look better than honestly all their receivers. Honestly, I mean, Amarian Hampton had only 48 yards on 15 carries, but it's his first game. He'll be fine. And the Chiefs kind of lucked out. Gavin's fantasy team kind of got screwed because he had A.J. Brown and also Xavier Worthy, who got knocked out by his own teammate. So, honestly, the Chiefs really, the only player that looked good, honestly, was Hollywood Brown, who had 10 catches for 99 yards. So, I think the Chiefs are in some trouble because their defense did not look like normal Chiefs defense we're used to seeing.
One game that I have possibly being an upset, most likely won't be, but I could see it, is that Broncos-Titans game. I could see. I've got the Broncos winning. I've got the Broncos winning the division. I could see Cam Ward coming in there, taking a hold of that Titans.
Is that in Denver?
Slinging it.
Is that in Denver?
Yes.
Yeah, no chance.
Coming
No
in there,
chance.
slinging it and winning his first ever NFL game.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It might.
And let's talk about my shitty Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb can't catch a ball.
Hot ass.
Dak Prescott looks pretty good. We can't stop the QB run. Jalen Hurts just ran all over us. I mean, we limited the receivers pretty well. A.J. Brown had 1 catch for about, 4 or 5 yards? Yeah, that was about it. So, I mean, honestly, our DBs were fine. So we really couldn't contain the QB. And, I mean, Javonte Williams looked good running the ball. But, I mean, we just got to get Pickens more involved. And CeeDee Lamb just got to make those catches in that clutch time. He's getting paid the money. You just got to catch him.
I'll tell you what's really killing the Cowboys. It's that gremlin of a fucking owner, Jerry Jones.
Yeah, thank you.
Holy shit.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for him to commit tax evasion. That way he can get off the team. Because, my God, it's either that or death that's going to get him out of there.
Oh, my
those Cowboys.
Back-to-back podcast talking about
I will say
Jerry Jones died.
It's all good.
I'll say this about the Cowboys. I was actually very surprised about how close of a game they were in with the Eagles. The former Super Bowl champs last year. And the Cowboys actually came and made a very close game. Like Will said, Dak Prescott actually looked pretty solid. And CeeDee Lamb just could not get the job done. So if CeeDee Lamb catches some of those balls, some other plays happen, the Cowboys actually might have been able to pull an upset and win that game, which I was very surprised by.
Yeah, as John just showed us, the money line is favored towards the Packers. So, yeah, I'm sticking. I think the Lions are winning. Just because of that, Lions are the underdogs. Yeah, I'm taking the Lions are going to win. And then last thing we'll mention before we go, who do you think's winning MVP?
Josh Allen.
Right back to the wall.
I'm going, with my guy. He was up there last year. He was up there. Jared
Oh, my God.
Jared Goff was up
a
there.
bad pick.
He was up there for most of the season last year. He had a very bad game against Houston, threw 5 interceptions, which was
And they still won.
He was in the race before that too.
Yeah,
So.
he was in the race until that game happened, and then he dropped out. But I think this year, I don't see him having a game with 5 picks, hopefully. And we go deep in the playoffs, and I think Jared gets it done.
I'm going to take Joe Burrow. I honestly, part of me thinks he should have won it last year. I know not making the playoffs, I feel like played a factor in that, but
It did.
he
That's
had
what
an
it is.
insane
I guarantee it.
season, and he absolutely carried his team to even have a chance in the playoffs. I just think it's a no-brainer. That offense is going to be electric. They're going to throw the ball more than anything this year. It feels like such a no-brainer.
He could be, yeah.
And where Rob's going with Joe Flacco.
No, I'm not going with Joe Flacco. But first, before I get into my pick for MVP, I want to say congratulations to my boy Quinston Judkins on officially signing the contract with the Browns.
The criminals! The criminals!
Yep.
The Cleveland
Apparently there's
Crooks.
18 games in the season now, but anyways, yeah, that's
Cleveland Crooks.
That should be their name, though.
talking shit. Anyways, duh, Cowboys are still shit, and I just wanted to get that out there. They kind of surprised me by making it a close game, but
And we still suck.
their opponent, I think that quarterback, Jalen Hurts, is actually going to win the MVP.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
my
if he
take.
throws to his number 1 receiver
Well,
sometime.
I'm kind of been debating. It's been between two guys, but
Jerry
I'm
Jones.
going with Joe Burrow as well.
Yeah.
I think he's the best quarterback in the AFC. I will argue that all day, every day. I think he's better than Josh Allen. I think the only reason he didn't win it last year is because he didn't make the playoffs. I kind of think that's bullshit. Even though Burrow had the better numbers, he did. Like, Josh Allen was fine, but did he get it done when it mattered most? Hell no, he didn't. He can't beat Mahomes. Joe Burrow can beat Mahomes. So if he gets in a deep playoff round and matches up Mahomes, he's going to do special, and I think that's why he wins MVP.
Holmes washed.
Burrow had.
Any more? Anyone? Is that it?
Yeah, no.
All right. Well, that would do
Cowboys
it.
suck.
That would do it. Another good week of football, I promise, and we will see you for the
Considering
next one.
suck too.
Yeah. Boomer.
Sooner.
I really hope you didn't hear that